In case you're not familiar, Aryna Sabalenka drops the first set to Varvara Gracheva. Tennis in a minute. I'm your host, Good Energy, but I want to take a minute to discuss Sabalenka, and I've talked about this in the past. Out of all the sports, you do not see professional coaches disrespected more than in professional women's tennis. The WTA Tour houses many stars, many talented ladies, but we need to talk about how some of these coaches, predominantly men, are disrespected by their players on a day to day basis. It's becoming sickening. Aryna Sabalenka just gives her coach the business. Now, I talked about her conduct in the past, slamming her racket, breaking boom microphones at the US Open, walking off on trophy ceremonies early, Iga Swiatek, taking the trophy and attempting to bash in the window of the Porsche. Was it a joke? Of course, it's always a joke, right? But is it respectful? Yelling at her coaches, slamming rackets down. We've seen it time and time again, and I've said this in the past. Aryna Sabalenka, she didn't win her Grand Slam championship until she finally started to show gratitude, being more happy, joyful, being appreciative, being thankful. But it's all about the gratitude. When I saw her demeanor and attitude change on the court, that's when she won the big one. Look at the Australian Open and all those interviews leading up to the championship. It's like she almost knew it was her time. Smiling, joyful, playful, playing with the babies, playing with the puppies, off the court during those interviews and media sessions. A beautiful woman, amazing tennis player. But the things she does, they're just too disrespectful. Now, is it entertaining or is it disrespectful? I guess that's the real question, right? As tennis fans, look, we want to see this kind of stuff, right? But is she going too far? We want to see the meltdown on the court, right? It's exciting. But what's really going on off the court? Now, we talked about the mental health of a lot of these ladies. A lot of these ladies on tour, they're just stressed out. It's a business. You have to show up and win to survive and make a living. And for most of the ladies outside of the top 50, tennis is not profitable. You guys have to understand that. Unless you're a young teenage phenom that comes up and has endorsements and sponsors, most ladies outside of the top 50, they just do not make money. When you factor in all the expenses, hotel expenses, hotels are very expensive. You know, you have to cover the expenses for your team, your coach. You have to cover the expenses for if you have a personal masseuse, a mental coach, if you have a some type of health coach, a nutritionist, if you have hitting partners. There's a lot of things: ground transportation, flight transportation, meals, preparation, equipment, medical expenses. And flights is the huge expense. You're literally booking flights at the last minute in case you're eliminated. You're going to a different tournament. Now, of course, they have travel agents. They do get discounts. But when you're talking about literally a different city every week, 52-week cities a year, that's very expensive. And for those outside of the top 50, especially outside of the top 100, there's not enough money in these lower level tournaments to make a living. A lot of these players, they have to borrow, they have to get loans. But if you're a top 10 player, you're good. Okay, you win a slam, you win a master event. Literally, you do well in the slams. You win 2 matches in a slam, that should take care of your entire year, right? So it's all about the slam championships. That's how you make your money. And that's why you see a lot of upsets in the Grand Slams, because people are playing for the life. They're playing for their season. And anyone inside the top 100 can beat anyone on any given day. People have to realize that. So when you see a match like Coco and she loses to big game Sophia Kenin, you got to really understand that match means a lot more to Sophia. Not that it means any less to Coco, but that extra will to win sometimes is all you need to beat someone. Excuse me, guys. So we want to talk about Sabalenka. Is it disrespectful or is it entertaining? She loses the first set 6-2, broken multiple times, broken 3 times in the first set, but we're back on serve in the third set. What do you think? Can Sabalenka pull this thing off? I think she can, but she's got to keep her cool. Tennis in a minute. Stay tuned for more tennis coverage.